Welcome to episode 2 of The Mobile Classroom, the podcast where we demonstrate today's most popular technologies. I'm James Messer, and in this podcast episode, we're going to look at Windows Live Movie Maker. This is a new function that's available, or a new program that's available in Windows 7. And it really brings to the table some capabilities you just didn't have before with Windows Movie Maker. Of course, you can find this podcast and any of our podcasts out on themobileclassroom.com. And when you go there, you'll find that this podcast you're listening to is one of our free ones, where we not only have these free podcasts we make available to everyone, but we also have members-only podcasts. We'd love you to become one of our mobile members, because if you do become a mobile member, you'll not only have access to this podcast in a much higher resolution in the 720p HD, the 1280 by 720 version, which is the native version that I'm recording this in. And we also make available an iPod and iPhone version too. So you can subscribe to that feed and have it automatically available to take along with you wherever you might go. There's also a number of episodes, that little bonus episodes we do from time to time. Those will also be members only. So there are some advantages to being a member. To learn more about our mobile members, just visit our website, themobileclassroom.com/members. In this episode today, let's talk about making movies. We're going to look at Windows Live Movie Maker. Now, if you've seen Movie Maker before in Windows XP, Windows Vista, you may not have been too impressed. Those older versions weren't really anything to write home about. But what Microsoft did was completely restart things, start from the beginning, and put together a movie maker that would really affect or have an effect on people that were really interested in building these quick videos that you could share over the internet. In this episode, we'll look at importing both video and pictures and how you can use both of them together to really come up with a really nice set of video and technologies that you can then make available on things like YouTube. We'll talk about what editing capabilities you might have for Windows Movie Maker, and we'll show you how easy it is to share these things. You just want to make it available to show your family, stick it out on YouTube. Very easy to do with this new version of Windows Live Movie Maker. If you've installed Windows 7 and you're looking around and trying to run the Windows Live Movie Maker, you've popped open your search box at the bottom and you started typing in it, one of those nice new capabilities of Windows 7, and you're looking for Movie Maker, you won't find it. It's not there. It is something that was not included with Windows 7. There are a number of programs that come in this Microsoft Live Essentials pack. That Essentials pack includes Movie Maker, the Windows Photo Gallery, the Windows Live Photo Gallery, and a lot more. And you can download that at download.live.com and install Windows Live Movie Maker. And everything we're going to be doing today, you can do that, but you're going to have to download it first. Now, that actually is kind of nice if you have older versions of Windows. If you're running Windows XP or you're running Windows Vista and you'd like to have these Windows Photo Gallery capabilities, for instance, you can download them from download.live.com. Windows Movie Maker, however, only works in Windows 7. So unfortunately, if you're running Windows XP or Windows Vista, you will have to use an older version of Movie Maker. It will not be this newer, redesigned version of Movie Maker. Movie Maker was designed for people that have some home videos or some pictures that they've made, and they just would like to share them online, something very simple, or they'd like to put together a DVD that just has some pictures on it that you could share with people, send them off to somebody, something very casual. If you're somebody who needs a lot of different tracks and you're looking to change the compression that was in the audio track, or you want to change the coloring or the formatting of something very specific in the video track, this particular program isn't for you. This is for the casual user. And from that perspective, it works quite nicely. This requires plenty of memory and plenty of video and plenty of CPU. You're editing videos, and it really requires a lot of resources from your computer. Now, if you're already running Windows 7, you probably already have enough resources for this. As I mentioned, Windows Live Movie Maker only works in Windows 7. So you just want to make sure as you're loading up these videos that you have plenty of memory to work with, and you really shouldn't have a problem there at all. Rather than talk a lot about how this works, I thought it would be nice if I took a bunch of videos and pictures that I made on a recent family outing, and we put it all together with some music and some titles and some credits at the end, and we simply published it to YouTube. So let's give that a shot. We'll start with using the Windows Live Movie Maker and importing some videos and some pictures. Here's the user interface for Windows Live Movie Maker. Just before we do our import process, let's step through what we're looking at here on the screen. You can see in the upper left here is a big black box. That's the one that we'll use for our editing. That will give us the feedback of what's going on. On the right side is where we're going to put all of our videos and all of our pictures, and we'll use that as the guide that really shows us what's happening live. We'll edit in that view. Now notice across the top you have this ribbon view that's very much like the newest version of Outlook. This is the type of user interface that you see in a lot of these newer Windows 7 type applications. And if you have these tabs across the top, you'll see that other functionalities will appear when you click those tabs. We're going to be using all of those tabs here today. Notice it's not too complicated. You have a home tab that allows you to do some very common functions, an animations tab that you can use for transitions, one for visual effects, and one that you can change the view of what you're looking at. So very simple in how it works. Let's find our videos. I've got the folder already open. And one nice thing about this, by the way, is I took these videos with the camera that I'm using right now, which is a high definition camera by Canon. It uses a file format called AVC HD. This is a relatively popular HD type of format, but not all video editing programs know how to use AVC HD. Now, what's nice about Windows Live Movie Maker, it knows right out of the box how to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift click down to the very bottom after selecting that top one. This selects everything that's here. I could have also right mouse click and chose to select all. I'm just going to drag these over to my Movie Maker, and if I drag it to a toolbar, it brings Movie Maker to the top, and then I'm going to just drop them right into that view. I could have also clicked on that, and it would have brought up a view where I could have simply selected individual videos or all of my pictures from there from a dialog box, but I like the drag and drop capabilities. It provides me with a little extra functionality. The first thing that happens as it's going through all of these videos is it starts doing some pre-processing to them. This is pretty common when you start using video editing programs. So before you are able to do very much, it has to go through and create the little tiny taskbar, the little tooltips for you, the thumbnail views, give you an idea of what's there, and then you're now got capabilities you can start doing some editing. So that didn't take too long at all. And you can see here we've got 13 minutes and 16 seconds worth of videos. But if you've ever done any video editing, you know you're not going to use all of that. So the import process went pretty easy. It simply put one video after another right in this view. And if I use this minus, I could start changing the size of this so you can see all of the different videos are here in different sizes. We won't use all of these different clips, but I thought we'd import all of it, and then we'll start adjusting it around and changing the way it looks on the screen. Now that all of our videos are imported, I'd like to do some editing. I'd like to change what clips go where. I'd like to change the length of them. All of this is capable, all of it very easy to use inside of Windows Live Movie Maker. Now, there are certain videos in here I definitely want to use, and if I use my mouse and I simply mouse over some of these clips, this one happens to be a picture with no transition and no effects associated with it. This one happens to be an MTS file or a video file, and if I hit the play button on here, you'll see it plays through the video, so I can start to see exactly what was there. And I may want to find a good spot to start this or stop this, because what I'd really like to do is have about 5 seconds each of each one of these very small segments. I'm putting together a very, very short video that just highlights these capabilities of where we were. This happens to be at a place called the Tallahassee Museum. So let's start with this picture up here. We'll start at the beginning. So we have a picture. In fact, this is a pretty good one to start with because this picture really has a nice view of this outdoor area that they have where all of these animals were. But notice it just kind of starts. There's really no transition there at all. In fact, there's no title on here. We don't have anything extra. Maybe a title would be a good place to start. So one thing that we can do is put our little bar at the top. Notice this bar shows exactly where we are within the video. And I'll click the title button and it puts a title right in place, automatically makes it for 5 seconds. We could, of course, change that duration. It's a black background and we can type some text in right here. This is the Tallahassee Museum. And that might be our title bar. We can do other things with this, of course. Maybe our background color we'd like to be more of a brown color. And we'd like to, of course, take the image that we have for the Tallahassee Museum. Maybe that white will work for us. Maybe it won't. But if I click, notice that I can play through this. And it actually automatically puts in some of these animation capabilities. I can also try another one that zooms in a little bit faster than what was there. I like the one that they put, though. It was very subtle. It comes up as the Tallahassee Museum. So right after that, when we're playing, boom, we hit this next clip, which happens to be a picture. And you'll notice it really hit it right off. There was no transition into that. One of the things that we have available is this animations tab. And under this animations ribbon, there are all these other transitions that are there. There's dissolves and patterns and shapes and reveals. And we can simply mouse over and see what some of these might look like. As you start mousing over, you'll get a feel for what that particular transition does. I would like this one to be very subtle, so maybe I'll do just a crossfade for this. That looks pretty good. Well, let's try that. Let's see what it looks like. Let's start at the beginning, rewind. I'm going to hit the space bar, which is a really fast way of starting the play option, and it fades right into my picture. Well, the picture itself just kind of sits there too. If you've ever seen some of these documentaries on television where it's showing the still images, the pictures move across the screen and it gives you a feeling of motion. I'd like to do the same thing. So on the right side of this animation menu are all of these capabilities for still pictures. Right now it's set for none, but there's one that allows us to pan. Notice it pans and views this straight up, or maybe I could zoom back and forth across this view, or from the top right, or from the left side or the right side. You've got this functionality. I like this one here that allowed me to pan through that. And so simply by setting this up, let's play it from the beginning again. I've set a title page now. I've transitioned into my picture, and now my picture is in motion. This is a great way to start our little Windows Live Movie Maker session. But now I'd like to add in some of the videos that we have. So let's edit some of these videos. We have the next one in here is a bald eagle. What a great shot of the bald eagle, but it's kind of shaky at first. Maybe that's not where I'd like to start. Right about here is where it looks really good. And you can see if I right mouse click right on my bar, I have the option to set the start point for that video. So I'm going to click that, and the rest of that video where it was a little bit shaky now disappears. And now it says just the bald eagle there. And I just want a few seconds worth of the bald eagle. Maybe I'll look through this. This was a pretty long clip. So now I can pick and choose exactly the length and exactly what I'd like to see associated with this bald eagle. If I move down a little bit in this video, here's a little bit better. He's got some activity, scratching a little bit with his beak. Maybe that's where I'd like to really start the video. So let's change our start point to there. Let's set the start point right there. I want to set a transition for the bald eagle. That's another dissolve, I think was the one we used before. Maybe a crossfade would be good with that transition. So let's choose that and say for our transition for the bald eagle, let's use this crossfade view into it. So now we've got, now I've got another few seconds of this crossfade into the bald eagle. And I just can keep doing that over and over and over again with all of my different clips until I have exactly the right time frame I would like to use for this video. After a few minutes of editing, I've now gotten down to about 1 minute and 12 seconds worth of video information. And I've set some transitions. I've created other views of what we can see. I've trimmed out and got rid of a number of things I didn't want. And we're almost done. But what we are missing here is some sound, is some music. So let's add some music into this mix. From the Home tab, I can select Add Music. And I'm going to add just a music into the whole thing. I've already downloaded from joshwoodward.com a program or a song called Of Dark Rooms and Crooked Candles. This is a Creative Commons site. He allows you to do whatever you'd like to with his music that he has out there. His only requirement is that you give him attribution. So Josh Woodward at joshwoodward.com will be the music that we will be using here. And you can see it adds it in as this green box across the top, however long it happens to go. And looking at this, it looks like his song is longer than what we have here. So I'm going to go all the way to the end of our video. Actually, we'll do something else at the end. Right now, let's see how this sounds. I'm going to go all the way to the top and let's play it and see what we've got. That's nice. Okay, transition into our picture. There's our bald eagle. All right, that's the kind of style and the kind of look I want with some of these things. And we've got other pictures of animals that are in here. That's looking good so far. So I've got everything I need to be able to put this out on YouTube, except I'm not really ending it very well. So I'd like to do a number of things. First, let's make some more transitions here. I forgot a couple that were here. So I'm going to very quickly just select, add a transition, select. I'll add that crossfade transition again to that one. And we'll crossfade right into our last piece too. The thing that I'd like to put at the end, though, is maybe some credits and put, of course, I need to put Josh Woodward's name on the end of this because that's required for using his music. Then I will make sure we finish it up with credits at the end. So what I will do is I can add either a caption into any of these things that are here now, but I think what I'd like to put is a credits view at the end. And what's nice about the credits is it scrolls whenever it goes by. So we can say things like, this video was created by Microsoft Live Movie Maker. And I can also choose to put, watch us make this video at the mobile classroom. So you can add credits into this view. And when you have your credits all ready to go, we can move our bar back here to the top and hit, and notice it scrolls up as it goes. One thing I need to do also at the end is have my audio, my music tool, at the end, I need to fade out, and we're going to fade out sort of a medium view. That way, when we're watching the credits go by, it almost ends at perfect timing. Very nice, and that's the end of our video. What I'll do now is also show you how to share this out on YouTube. Now that we've spent the time importing our video and going through all of the video segments and editing everything out and adding our information, our title at the beginning and our captions in the middle and putting some things at the end for credits, and now we're ready to share it. We've got music. It is ready to go for the rest of the world to see. So let me show you how Windows Live Movie Maker makes it very easy to take what you've created on your screen and get it into the hands of other people. We have a number of different options for sharing. They can be found on your Home tab. All the way on the right side is an option for sharing. And immediately you'll notice there is a YouTube option, but I've also downloaded and made available via plugins the option to upload live to Facebook. I could also share this on Picasa if this happens to be pictures that I can put there. I've got other settings too. Also, I can change this and put it on a DVD. So if I'd like to take it and give it to someone else who doesn't have a computer, they can put it on their DVD player in their house and watch my movie that way. You can adjust the size of the video. You can change how it's viewed. There are other plugins here as well. If you want to make it for a portable device, if you want to easily email it to somebody, or add a plugin. If you click add a plugin, it takes you directly to the Windows Live Essential page for the plugins. And there may be other plugins created by this time. Here's the ones that I added: live upload to Facebook, YouTube. If you use SmugMug, there's a publish option there, Pixel Pipe, and some others. And as they add new plugins, they'll just be on this page. That makes it very easy to be able to add to the capabilities. You know, if the next big video sharing site appears, you want to be able to integrate this with the next big video sharing site. Very easy. It's just a plugin that gives us that capability. For us, let's put it on YouTube. You may want to go out to YouTube after this and have a look at the video. So I'm just going to click the YouTube button. Let's see what we get. I get an option that says sign into YouTube. I already have a mobile classroom YouTube account, so I'm going to put in my password here if I can remember it, and I'm going to click the sign in button, and let's see what it does. We see that it's starting to go. Well, good. It's obviously signed in because it says publish your video on YouTube. And here's the title of the video. I might want to change this. This is what I named the file that I've been working on, which was the date along with the name. I'm just going to change the title to Tallahassee Museum. Tallahassee Museum, Tallahassee, Florida. If I spell it right, T-L-H-A, Tallahassee, Florida. And I can put tags in here separated by commas. That might be worthwhile. We'll put Tallahassee. I'll put Florida. I'll put museum. That's a pretty good listing of tags. I need a category for this. And in YouTube, it can really go into a number of different categories. This could go into pets and animals. It could go into people and blogs. I'm going to put this under travel and events, since people might see this video and they might say, I want to go to Tallahassee Museum, and I can make the permission to this public or private. I'm going to make this public. And of course, we get the option here that says, if you're putting this online, make sure that you are the authorized owner. In this case, all the clips are clips that I created, and the music is something I'm using with the proper licensing and the proper attribution. And that sounds good. I'll click the publish button, and Windows Live Movie Maker now saves the movie and begins compiling the movie and making it available for YouTube. Depending on the speed of your computer, depending on the resources and capabilities of your CPU and the memory that you might have, this might take a little bit of time. It may take a long period of time. It also depends on the size of your video. So this may be something where you get up, you walk away, you get something to drink, you have a bite, and you come back and see how things are going a little bit later. And there you have it. Although you didn't see it on your side, there were about 10 or 15 minutes that went by there while it compiled the information, it uploaded it to YouTube. But finally, we got a message that says, your movie has been published. You can view your movie online or open the folder on your computer that contains a copy of it. So not only is there a copy out on YouTube that you could download and watch, but it went ahead and made a copy locally. So if you wanted to look at it yourself, you could open the folder right from here. Here's the file that it made. We can double click. It'll open up our Windows Media Player, and there's the video. I'll make it full screen so you can see it here. Not bad. Nice job. I like what you've done there. You hear the background noises along with the music. Pretty nice. I like it. And if you'd like to see all of it, you can certainly go out to YouTube and search for the Mobile Classroom, and certainly it'll pull up the Tallahassee Museum there. And of course, you're always welcome to come to Tallahassee and visit yourself. That brings us to the end of this episode on Windows Live Movie Maker. We've gone through starting up Windows Live Movie Maker and importing some of our videos and pictures. We've done some editing with transitions and movement and title pages and credits at the end, and even added some music into the mix. And finally, we published it out on YouTube. If you'd like to see many more of our mobile classroom tutorials, you can always visit our website, themobileclassroom.com. And don't forget about our members only section, where we have some bonuses behind the scenes for people. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on The Mobile Classroom.